So you said that your consequence is a 3-day suspension.
Mm-hmm.
Is that with or without pay?
That's without pay.
Okay, so tell me about how you think that will affect you. Is that putting more stress on you?
I just say a little bit, but after I thought about it, just those 3 days, and we always have enough money, there for like in case of emergencies or something like that happen like this. I think we'd be okay, to pay bills and just everyday expenses. I think we'll be okay. It kind of sucks not to have that 3 days within my paycheck I'll be getting, but I think we can make up for it in other ways, and there's always overtime. I can get it back in the next few weeks or months.
So that won't be a problem in your tuition payments?
No, we should be able to. I think we already had this month's paid for, so I think we'll be able to. Next month I think we'll be able to have enough to do it. So I think we'll be okay.
How are you feeling about returning back to work?
A little nervous, just to kind of what everyone will think, what happened. Why like me and those coworkers were gone for 3 days. I think some of them might be comfortable talking some about kind of what happened and why it happened. But other people, might just had to tell them take some time off for personal reasons or just something like that. I don't feel comfortable talking about it with certain people quite yet. Maybe down the road I will be able to.
So what do you think you will say when you confronted?
Maybe just try to change the subject, or just say I just had to take some time off for the company needed me to take some time off or something. Or I had to go on like a trip or a little white lie.
Mm-hmm.
But just maybe eventually tell them what happened. But there's just some people I feel like I just might get judged by some people.
Right.
That don't really know what needs to be, what needed to be happened. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that it would be hard to try to relay what you were feeling and everything that was going on, and others might not understand.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that whatever you're comfortable sharing is fine. And, don't feel pressured to get into details. It's your business.
That's right. Yeah. So I just think overall, most people I can tell and they won't have a problem with it, but there's just some I'd rather not.
So how did your wife feel about the situation?
She's kind of relieved too, because it was put stress on her that I was stressful about it. And so she was relieved. I didn't get fired or a longer suspension. We have to spend some time together during that because she only had to work like one of the days I was off. So we have to just spend a lot of time together, and we just talked a lot about things and connected a lot over those days. So.
Mm-hmm. So what did you do on your days off?
I tried to work around the house a lot. There were some things that needed to be done. My wife went out and did some shopping and stuff like that. Just went out a lot. The kids weren't able to make it home. I think they're going to come home next weekend. But I just tried to do things that either didn't make me stressful or just kind of if I was thinking about going to work, just try to get my mind off of it and just focus on being at home and just doing things fun, not trying to think about work and what I have to do next week and stuff like that.
Have you found any time to engage in the hobbies that you mentioned?
Yeah, I had my weekly sports league I was in, did that night. So that always helps. I always look forward to that. And my other hobbies didn't really have time to because I had a lot of things around the house to do. But maybe that's kind of hobbies too. I don't know. But that made me not think about work and what happened in the meeting and stuff. So I guess those kind of did help too.
Mm-hmm. So tell me about your communication that we've been working on. Do you think that you've seen an increase in your ability to communicate, or is it maintained?
I'd say there'd be an increase. I felt like at the meeting, I communicated very well with them. Trying to be open and honest about what happened and like why I did it, and just trying to like just be really open and maybe thinking like that would help. And because if I just would have been quiet about it, not I might have they could have been suspicious or something about like why I was doing it and stuff. So I felt like that helped. Um, I felt like I had a good tone and they understood me clearly. I tried to just use everything we talked about and just put it towards that. Uh, and even at work, leading up to that and before, just with meetings and stuff with my coworkers, felt like everyone understood me very clearly. I tried to use a good tone and be more verbal. Um, like I didn't have as many people, coming back up to me asking like what they needed to do and like the instructions. Everyone understood everything clearly, and I felt like that helps everyone. They can get things done faster. Stuff's not drawn out as long. Like they get some of it done, they have to come ask again and stuff like that. They can just do everything, and then that helps me too. Because then I can be working on other stuff instead of trying to help everyone because I didn't do a good job explaining it or communicating well with everyone. So
you're noticing how your communication, as you're improving your communication, um, it's beneficial for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So using these techniques that we've been talking about effectively,
mm-hmm.
you see an increase in
productivity.
Mm-hmm. So do you feel like you're being clear and concise?
Yeah, everyone just seems to, I can see just, in their eyes and faces, like when I said they get it. They're not like they look confused or not talking like they had before.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows what their job is now, and everyone can get it done effectively, on time instead of drawing it out because I didn't, they get to a point where they didn't know what to do because I didn't explain it well enough, and they have to ask to get drawn out longer. So
you're not having to repeat yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And then, have you noticed that you're involving more people?
Yeah. I feel like I try to talk to maybe just a certain amount of people at once
instead of having to tell one person
mm-hmm.
or tell another person.
Mm-hmm. Just try to tell the whole group.
Mm-hmm.
Like it means talk to this people, and this people, instead of just all at one time talking to everyone about everyone's project.
Right.
You just single out the certain groups that need it. I kind of maybe have. I have smaller meetings, but then those meetings are just more personal.
Mm-hmm.
So having one big meeting with everyone and talking about everyone can be confused and stuff like that. So
right.
Just try to focus in on the certain people that need to get talked to.
How about tone? Is that something you've been working
on? Yeah, I try to make just try to increase that a little bit so everyone can understand me and kind of have I should say forceful, but everyone knows when I talk and stuff, kind of like that. So
it definitely sounds like you've been sharing your feelings more often
mm-hmm.
during that meeting and at home with your wife.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Okay, and then the last one, you've been more verbal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So how does it feel, seeing an increase in your ability to communicate?
Feels good just because I know this stuff's working, what we've talked about, and
mm-hmm.
It feels good, doing it and coming back here and talking about it because I know it's working and I can keep increasing on it more. I feel like each time I do it, it just gets better and better. Be a point where I just level out, but other than that, I feel like it just keeps getting better every time.
So you feel like it's been helpful for you to practice these communication mm-hmm. skills during our sessions,
mm-hmm.
and then reflecting on them mm-hmm. during the next session.
Transfer from here to work, that really seems to help.
Good, that's great. Let's reflect on the other problem that we've talked about in the treatment plan. Your impulse control. Have maintained it, increased it, decreased it? What are you saying?
I feel like it's increasing, but I still need to keep working on it.
Mm-hmm.
I just try to think about, before I do something impulsive, just try to think about it and think about how it's going to affect me, affect other people, what the consequences may be. So I feel like just overall, I just keep getting better. I feel like I haven't, like fell off or like gotten worse or anything. I just feel like I'm slowly progressing. Kind of a little bit slower than communication.
Right.
In fact, the communication happens every day,
Mm-hmm.
but then the impulse is just at certain times,
And that's also more of an individual, personal
Mm-hmm.
issue to tackle than communicating that involves, a lot of other people.
Mm-hmm.
No one can really help you manage your impulses.
Mm-hmm.
But
So I just feel like by myself, I'm doing well. Trying to, I haven't had any. I've had a few situations where I just kind of removed myself and just kind of thought about it, and one wasn't a good idea, and the other one was after I thought about it. So, both of those kind of helped.
so before you started attending these sessions and talking about your need to work on your impulses, you weren't thinking about the consequences.
Yeah, I'd just go ahead and do it, and if something happened, I would deal with it after that. And then something didn't happen, I just thought I was lucky about it or something. But now I just know that something always affects someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So just thinking about it helps me decide whether or not to do it.
So now before you act, you think about how it's going to affect you and how it's going to affect others, and then you make a decision based on. Okay, that's good. How do you feel about that?
I feel like it works well. I feel good about myself when that happens. So I know I did the right thing instead of just going ahead and doing it.
And have you identified some strategies that work for you when you're trying to manage your impulses?
I just kind of remove myself and do the counting in my head. I kind of feel like that working that together works. And then once I do that, just think about it clearly and think of all the different options, and then just try to pick the best one for me and also for everyone else.
So it sounds like you've been using some of the coping skills that we've talked about, and it sounds like you used some during the meeting.
Yeah, I use some of those as well.
Okay, good. So let's talk about this upcoming week. Okay. Do you have anything coming up?
The kids are coming home this weekend, so they'll spend some time with them. And, if there is any added stress at work, by being back at work, I can always look forward to that. And when it does happen, or when they are home, I can relieve it by doing activities with them and stuff.
Right.
But just have to see how work goes. It could be a stressful week. I don't know. Just by coming back, so I just have to wait and see. And if it does, use my strategies to help.
So you're feeling a little anxious about coming back to work and just seeing how everything will go. But you do have something to look forward to at the end of the week, so that's helpful.
Yeah, it is.
Well, that's good. So I know we only have a couple sessions left.
Okay.
So just to, give you a little preview as to what to expect. Next session, we'll talk about your week. Okay. If there's anything that happens, we'll discuss that. And then, we'll talk about some of the long-term strategies you can implement. Okay. I'll give you some, some take-home information. And then during your last session, we'll just talk about everything that we've covered. Okay. Everything that's gone on and how you've dealt with it. Okay. And how you've incorporated some of the factors that we've discussed into your life and what's worked and what hasn't, and just recap. Okay, sounds good. Okay. So then last, we'll just talk about your goals for the week. Okay. Just to not be, if anything does happen at work regarding, what happened, just try to keep my cool about it, and not dwell on it and take it home. And just do what I have to do at work and do what I have to do at home. If anything does arise, just use my strategies to help, and just keep looking forward to the weekend. Yep. And then when I'm at home, just spend time with my wife, the time I have, and we can, if anything does happen, we can always talk about it at home. So just overall, just have a good week at work and not worry about what happened in the past, and just kind of start over again and just work towards getting things done. Yep. And then looking forward to spending some time with your kids this weekend. Maybe, planning some fun outings and stuff like that. Yep. Okay. Well, I'm really glad to hear about the meeting, and I'm glad everything worked out for you. And it sounds like you've really been able to work on some of these issues, and sounds like everything's just getting better from here.
Yep.
So that's good.
Yeah.
I hope you have a good week.
Yep, you too.
Thank you.